Let's go watch it in 2D. No, let's go watch it in 3D. But if we watch it in 3D, then is it worth the cost?
This is it. It's our time. This is our moment. And a 1 and a 2.
Mufasa, I always wanted a brother. I thought you said you were fast. Let's get in some trouble.
This way! This was a bad idea! I think that went quite well, all things considered.
Mufasa the Lion King.
Hakuna Mufasa, what a wonderful name.
Hello. This is Adolf, and I have with me Classic Jake.
Howdy, folks.
And today you are reviewing Mufasa the Lion King. I have not seen this film. You wrote the review, so as per usual, let's talk about the 3D aspect first. How was the 3D aspect of Mufasa?
It was fine. I mean, not great, but it wasn't bad. It was fine. I mean, it's not the type of, if it gets a home video release, this isn't something that's going to be, you show off your system with. But it's fine. It has a few pop-outs. It's got some great vistas, but it's just not extraordinary. And a lot of that has to do with the way I can't tell if it was just the way it was cut down from an IMAX version or what, but a lot of the 3D effect was ruined. A lot of the mid-range and close-ups were ruined because 3D kind of you need to see the whole form for the 3D to pop, and they just you see half a heads and ears cut off, and
Interesting.
yeah, and it kind of ruins the effect.
Because usually for when a movie has IMAX, you just see more in the IMAX. You don't necessarily see the cropped, crappy version of it, of the regular theaters.
But I was, even though the theater I was at is far superior to any of the IMAX screens near me, it's still not an IMAX theater.
Okay. So it was a premium-ish theater. It wasn't like the cheap, theater,
Yeah, it's the one that you have to pay Regal several dollars a month extra to use their Regal plan.
Okay.
But it's not certified. But it's not certified IMAX.
So, is there any specific scenes that really kind of memorable, or not so much?
Not so much. I mean, there's some stuff. I mean, this movie, half of it is walking.
Okay.
I mean, so if you want to see animated tigers and lions and hyenas and giraffes and walking in various landscapes in Africa, this is the movie for you.
Okay. Now, I guess it's adequate. It's not like a terrible conversion. It's not, you won't hate it, but you're not going to get that much. Is that kind of fair to say?
Yeah.
All right. So what's the final score?
God, I'm trying to remember what I was thinking more around 6, 7.
Yeah. So I think you officially gave it a 6. So.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not great either.
Okay.
I mean, it's worth seeing, but I don't think if you really want to see this movie, I don't think seeing it in 2D only would really interfere with the experience.
Okay. A very mild recommendation, but just barely a recommendation.
Yeah, if you're really into 3D, see it, because, it's good enough, I guess. But it's not like, oh my God, wow, this is life-changing. Not even close.
You might want to consider IMAX 3D just because it's bigger. Maybe that will work better.
I don't think this is available in IMAX 3D. If it is, it's not over here. Because around here, all the IMAX screenings were 2D only.
I have to see, but I think my area had some IMAX 3D of it, so. Okay, well, I guess that's going to be it for the 3D section. Now on to the movie itself. So Mufasa is a prequel to the 2019 CG animated, quote unquote, Lion King movie. I wrote the review for the 2019 version, which I kind of liked. I don't love it. I thought it was enjoyable, but just doesn't capture the magic of the original original animated 90s film. And I thought the creatures just were soulless because of CG. So,
Yeah.
how is Mufasa in comparison, I guess? Or just in general, how is Mufasa?
Okay. In some ways, it's better than the first so-called, if you want to call 100% CGI movie live action. It's just a different form of animation. But it's really lacking in what I would call this did not have the voice talent that the first CG version did. I mean, this is light years a better sequel than Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. But that's a low bar if you've ever seen it. And I've seen it once, and that was enough for me.
So the story just doesn't capture the interest, or what?
It's fine. It's a Disney. It's your typical cliched Disney orphan story. Only they kind of have two orphans at different times, and it's just not that engaging. I mean, the story it's mid, and every time it gets some momentum going, it has to go. It has to try to reference something from the original, and it doesn't do it very well. Or it tries to, or it has just tried to have some deep cut humor that falls flat.
Okay.
And it tries to explain things. And I'm sitting here watching this movie. Why are you explaining this when you have a movie that has walking, talking, singing, and dancing lions?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and you're trying to explain all this other stuff?
Now, obviously a fundamental issue with prequels is that, you don't necessarily have that much risk because the stakes are
there's
lower.
zero. Oh, there are no stakes. That's one of the things that hurts this movie severely. There are no stakes. You know exactly. No, but everybody's getting out of here except who you know isn't going to get out of here. And because you already know the dynamic. I mean, the only surprise, and I'm doing air quotes, is you find out what Scar's name was before he was Scar.
Who cares?
Yawn. Yeah, yawn. And the actors they've got voicing Scar and Mufasa, I mean, are just so lackluster. I mean, Mads Mikkelsen is the villain, White Lion.
Kairos, I think is the name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's one of the more interesting voices in this movie.
Okay. How's the music?
It's okay. It's not great. I mean, a couple of these songs may turn out to have legs, and because not every song in The Lion King was immediately embraced as a classic, but they've went on to become classics. That may happen with some of these numbers. I mean, because some of them are catchy, but some of them aren't.
Okay. How are the visuals?
Fine. I mean, the character designs are fine.
Do the CG lions emote better than the 2019 version? Did they, have some kind of emotion to their faces, or just still dead eyes?
It was slightly better, but this movie was completely stripped of, like, everything a menace, hint of violence or action, basically anything that would create interest was watered down so much. Like some things you have to go, wait a minute, did those characters just die? I mean, it was just so
Toothless.
Yeah, exactly.
The kitty doesn't roar here, huh? It's just kind of...
Yeah, it doesn't roar. Mm-hmm. And the kitty doesn't have, has been declawed and defanged, too. Poor kitty.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good analogy. It's just a horrible picture to paint.
Yeah, I know, but it's exactly this.
All right. Well, I guess to wrap up, what's your final verdict for the movie itself? What score?
6
Okay.
out of 10.
So not something you to rush to the theaters for.
Oh, definitely not. I've seen it. I don't think I'd watch this again.
Okay. Well, I guess it's going to be it for this review of Mufasa, the Lion King. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye, folks.
So I got one quick thing to talk about. We have a merch store.
Woohoo!
We got t-shirts, we got tote bags, we got magnets, we got stickers, we got a little bit of everything.
Woohoo!
At this merch store, 3dr2d.com/store, you'll find many original designs and affordable prices. And I have a code for you. If you want to get 7% off your order, use Lucky7. It is spelled out LUCKY and the number 7, and you'll get 7% off your order. That website again is 3dr2d.com/store.
Woohoo!
Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank MK Ultra, Gravity Head Zero, Travante Classics, and Axe Folk for being my super VIP patrons on Patreon.
You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Links are in the info box. If you want to send us listener mail, our email address is email3dortwood@gmail.com. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.